Joe Singleton, home and away United supporter, drummer in acclaimed band The Lottery Winners. You've been supporting Robbie Williams. You've topped the UK album charts this year for the second time. It's going all right, isn't it?
Yeah, doing all right. You've done your research.
It's been a hell of a year, though, hasn't it, for you? Apart from the
Yeah,
football.
it's been pretty mad. Feel like we've just been on tour for the whole year so far. And obviously we've been away with Robbie since like May now. So we did good few UK shows with Robbie, and then we've just been out in Europe with him. Been Latvia, Lithuania, Sweden, Norway. Some mad places. It's just feels like an absolute whirlwind at the moment. Don't know where I am each day of the week.
Robbie's a Vale fan, isn't he? He's quite a well-known Port Vale fan. But he's got a
Yeah.
lean into United as well, hasn't he? He's got a bit of a soft spot for him.
Yeah, he talks. He's good mates with quite a few of the players. I've spoken to him about it, and obviously he's got his ties with Soccer Aid and that. So
Yeah.
he knows a lot of the players, and you know what? He's really clued up on his football.
Yeah.
He loves it. Yeah. To be fair, he came in our dressing room the other day, and he gave me a load of his old Port Vale trackies and that, and I've got his Soccer Aid shorts. So pretty happy with that bit of memorabilia. Match worn by Robbie Williams. So yeah.
What do you do in that position? Do you keep him nice and pristine, or do you wear
I wore them to the gym this morning, so that's where they
him?
are now.
Love it. Love that. Sticking on a musical theme, let's go with composition. There are four of your core members in the band. Who supports
Yes.
who?
So Tom, the lead singer, he is a United fan. His dad and granddad used to have season tickets. His granddad was one of the longest season ticket like holders at United until quite recently. Rob, the guitarist, he's a Bolton Wanderers fan.
Okay.
Uh, and Kate, the bass player, and my better half is just whoever I'm supporting, she supports just to make it easier. She knows that if my team win, I'll be in a good mood.
Perfect. So you've got an overwhelming majority there. That's good.
I'd say so, yeah.
I mean, just obviously, like you said, you've had a whirlwind year, a few years really, you've been all over the show. Does the music get in the way of following United?
I get to as many games as I can. Last year, to be honest, it was a blessing in disguise that I couldn't go to a lot of the games because I'd just sit in a dressing room in Hull and I'd just be like, oh no, I have to go through this again. At least I'm not actually at the games. Um, but yeah, I'll make sure I watch them. Whether I'm on stage, I'll hide my phone away, I'll hide my Mac away, and just sort of get on with it. Um, but yeah, to be fair, the Arsenal game, I only caught the first half because I was on a flight, so I landed to the result. But that's the first game I've missed in a very long time.
Right. Okay. So quite devout then. So how did that support start?
Through my dad. My first game I went to was United City, where Keane got sent off, the whole Haaland sort of incident, and I was like, I must have been 7 or 8, and I didn't really understand the sort of size of it. We was in the Stretford end, and it was the first time I'd heard a few choice words, and stuff like that, and it was 1-1, I think,
Yeah.
and my favourite player was Paul Scholes, and he missed a penalty in that game.
Yeah.
So I remember that was sort of my first sort of feeling of heartbreak with football. I remember being like inconsolable that he'd missed a penalty. Um, but my first actual year of supporting United was the treble in '99. I was like 5 years old, and again, I didn't understand. Like, I just assumed that United would win every trophy every season. Um, and obviously that was going to be a painful experience as I grew older, but we were quite good when I was young. It was as soon as I was like old enough to like start going on my own and going with my mates and going to the pub, that's when we became bad.
Well, I mean, United's
Um,
version of bad isn't, a lot of clubs would take it, wouldn't they?
yeah, it's true. I've been to Wembley a lot of times, and yeah, considering we're going through the worst era we've had since the '70s, I'd take it. You know,
You mentioned Scholes there as your favourite player. Was that then, or is it just like to this day?
well, I think I always liked him because I was a small ginger kid at school who had asthma. And I just sort of thought he was just a normal northern lad, wasn't he? Just like
Yeah.
all he wanted to do was play football. So I always liked him. And I think I like that sort of player. You know, he wasn't there for the glory. He was just sort of in and amongst it, and he like created it all. And but he was amazing, wasn't he?
Oh, it's
So yeah,
sensational.
I'd say he's probably my favorite player, or definitely one of.
Yeah, I can never separate him and Keane.
Yeah,
It's
so Keane for me, I sort of remember him like the end of his career sort of thing. I
right.
remember when he like left to go to Celtic, whereas I still had another like 10 years with Scalzi. You know, obviously, and
Yeah,
then when he came back against City and all that. So because people talk to me about like Cantona and players like that, but I don't ever remember seeing him play. So I think it's hard to judge players when you can't recall watching them. You know.
of course, absolutely. So, what are your favorite games that you recall, whether you've been to them or not?
Favorite games. It's hard. It's hard. You go to so many, don't you? But the ones that stick out to me that I've not been to, it's got to be all the times we've beaten Liverpool, all the times we've beaten City. Like obviously the Arsenal game came up the other day, and I was watching highlights of the 8-2. And that's just a mental game, that innit? Like to beat
Yeah.
Arsenal 8-2 with the team they put out as well. And then obviously at any time we've won a final, stuff like that. The one that I remember quite well was the Southampton final where Ibrahimovic scored in the last minute. I think
Yeah,
that
yeah.
was to get a win at Wembley, and obviously the most recent Carabao Cup one was the last time I went, I think, where we beat Newcastle 2-0. So that's
Yeah.
always a good fun day out.
So, I believe you get to quite a few away games, or down the years you've been able to get to quite a few away games. Do you have a particular favorite away ground?
Um, not particularly. I don't really have a good record away. I don't particularly like we. What did we do last year? Did Ipswich, obviously Ruben's first game,
Yeah.
which ended 1-1. But I think I gigged in Manchester on a Saturday. Drove to Ipswich. Well, my friend drove to Ipswich the next day, and then on the Monday I had a gig in Cardiff. So I sort of
Oh,
went Manchester, Ipswich, Cardiff, and again it's sort of one of them. It's like if you win, it's fine. But we drew 1-1, and it was a really tough watch. And then the other one I went to last year, I took my dad to watch Wolves on Boxing Day, and that was his Christmas present. And I was really proud because away tickets are hard to get. So I said, oh,
yeah.
I'll take my dad, and he was buzzing. He'd not been to a away game. It was his first one, and we went dad and lad, and it was freezing. You know, there was fog on the pitch. You couldn't barely see a ball. Bruno got sent off. We conceded from a corner. And we were just driving home. I was like, at least this is only like an hour and a half home and not 5, 6 hours.
Yeah.
Um, so they're the ones I went to last year. Not very good.
Yeah,
I
keep
went
touring.
to I went to Munich a couple of years ago. We lost that game as well, but I'd say that was my favourite away because that ground was just incredible. It was so good, such a good atmosphere.
Yeah, Europe
I think it's
is
just a
something
lot.
else.
I spent a lot of time this summer like playing in like German football stadiums, and a difference in standard between the grounds there. Like we played like Gelsenkirchen, Hanover, places like that that are second division, and some of those grounds are better than the Premier League grounds over here. They've all got the roof on. They're all just like I think a lot of them were built for like the 2004, 2006 World Cup, so they're all really modern and just cool grounds.
Well, you are comparing it to Portman Road and Molineux there, so that's probably a very fair point.
Yeah, it's true as well, and Robbie Williams was there, so it's a lot better.
So when you do get to the away games and it goes well on the rare occasions, what do you love most about it? What's the buzz that you get?
I just like I sort of like I've said this for the last few years about going to United is I love like going with my mates and having a laugh because we're getting on now. We're a bit busier. Like some married, some have got children, some have got jobs away. Like I work away a lot, so it's one of the rare occasions you can all get together and you're all there for one reason. So you meet up at the pub, you have a few beers, you talk about United, and then you go to the game. They usually let you down, but that's like the day is about like your mates and catching up and having a few drinks and that, and that's what I really like. It's sort of like a community. sort of
Yeah,
thing, and you bump into people you're not seeing in years, and you bump into people you didn't know, and then you meet people there, and that's what I like about it.
awesome. And then finally, Joe.
Especially when you're in a long car for 8 hours, you've got to like the people you're traveling with, haven't you?
Oh, there's no option, no option. Oh, that's
Yeah,
a lot either way. Wow. So
yeah.
just to wrap up then, Joe, how would you assess where we're at the moment? I mean, obviously you've only seen half the first game. You're probably still scarred like the rest of us by last season, but overall, how optimistic are you going forward?
It looked promising. We played well. We had like 22 shots on target. We've signed well, but it's the same problems as last year. Like we've still got an unreliable keeper. We've got no midfield, and we can't score. So hopefully, the Mbuemo, Kuna, Sesko will solve the goals. But until we have a better keeper than those two we've got, I just can't see us getting higher than eighth. Genuinely,
There are obviously, like you touched on there, a lot of issues to resolve. But scoring
yeah,
goal, you would think that will come, wouldn't you? I mean, it's a new front three.
yeah,
Number the whole season last season with Rasmus off form, you were working without a functioning number nine in the role,
mm,
having changed the system midway through the season. So it was all an absolute
yeah.
mess.
It was a mess.
But going forward,
That's a
I
that,
think
that's a
better
pol-
frame.
that's a polite way of saying it is mess. I
I'm
think.
very polite. I'm very polite. But you would think with a functional number nine in place, and those two either side of him in the tens looked mustard of the weekend, Premier League
Yeah.
proven. I can see it being not an all-time great season, but I can see it being substantially better than last year and taking momentum through. We've just got to start getting points on the
Yeah.
board. Momentum, we haven't had any momentum for a couple of years now.
And I think it'll help not playing in Europe as well. I think it will just help us play in like, just at weekends. I think a nice cup run, get into a final. And I think we'll have a good season. But yeah, unless we sign a new keeper, and I don't think we are, they're just liabilities, aren't they?
We'll see. I don't know. I think we're a bit more tactical in the market these days in what we're
Yeah,
putting out, how we're behaving. We're not just being, waving cash as we peruse the stalls. It's like, what
yeah,
have we got? And we need to get some
yeah.
sales out the door, then we'll have a clearer picture. So I'm not giving up hope of more reinforcements this window, but we'll see.
So where do you think we'll finish?
Top six.
Okay.
I'll go with that just because I think once we get momentum, I think we'll fall back into sort of muscle memory as a club and just start going
Yeah.
the right way. I don't see a lot of until Liverpool made the signings they made this summer. I didn't see like a dynasty appearing anywhere. I didn't see anyone really taking a stranglehold. Obviously, City have got their issues. Arsenal are Arsenal. Chelsea are
Yeah.
constantly. Yeah, Chelsea, Arsenal will probably finish second. Um,
Hmm.
Chelsea keep changing the squad every year. Liverpool were good, but I didn't see a dynasty, like I said. Now they've signed well. They've got to be the favourites. City, who knows what will happen there? And
Hmm.
then everyone's got issues. Villa, Spurs, Newcastle. I just see as if we can get a streak going, I can see a lot of the other teams eating each other and giving us a chance to get through. Because
Yeah.
we can win the big games. We can do. Um, it's just dealing with like what used to be the fodder, getting through teams with the low block and just having a bit more creative spark. But we'll
And I
see.
felt
We'll
like
get
we lost so many times at home last year as well. It was like every home game you go in, you're like, usually it'd be like formality. It'd be like, oh, how many we're going to score today? And then it was like, you'd go into games against Wolves and like teams like that, and you'd be like, but Bournemouth, like, I'm not confident here. And they just tonked us, didn't they? Everyone did. Everyone beat us at home last year.
yeah. And you going to Arsenal at the weekend, you couldn't make an educated guess as to what you were going to see.
No.
But now, if they can perform again on Sunday at Fulham, I think you can start being a bit more confident then about going into each game because it does affect your performance, the confidence in which you go into the fixture with.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with that.
But we'll see. Uh, Joe, thanks so much for your time.
No worries, mate.
Really appreciate it. Good luck tomorrow night with the gig and
Thank
beyond.
you, mate.
And
Yeah.
thank you so much for your time, gentlemen.
Yeah. Nice one, mate. Good to chat to you.